Flight boss, bitch. You're now listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, we're going to talk about CUSP. Now, right now, we're going to step into the first CUSP. The first CUSP is Aries Pisces CUSP. So, when we go into the CUSP, there's just the same way there's 4 elements, like there's earth, air, fire, water. When they get mixed up into CUSP, we have also 4 created elements. We have steam, lava, dust, and clouds. Now, it's everything reversed. So when we talk about CUSP, we have to talk about CUSP in the aspect of the squares and oppositions. The squares is what actually makes a sextile and a cusp, or trine, like they want to say. And it's like it's just in reverse. For an example, a person, one second. Alright, now, that'll be good. A person, you see Chris out there? Now, a person that's a cusp. Now, when it happens here is, now, say a person is a 0 degrees Aquarius, and then they, that will be a dust element, because that's Capricorn and Aquarius cusp. So right there, earth and air makes dust. That'll be the dust element. Now what gets along with dust is lava. So with lava, for a person to be a lava, they would have to be a fire and earth cusp. So if someone was a 0 degrees Aquarius and a 0 degrees Taurus, you may think this is a square, because you may think, like I said, a cusp is a 5-degree orb. It's the 0 degrees of any sign is a natural balanced blend between both sides, both signs. Now the 29 and the 28 degree of a cusp is going to play out on your sign, or whatever planet that falls into that cusp is going to play out in the element of the actual scale of the balance scale is leaning towards, but it's still going to be backed by the futures, the sign that's ahead of it attributes. So say if you're 0 degrees Aquarius, now you're a natural blend between Aquarius and Capricorn. Now if you're 29 or 28 degrees Capricorn, you're going to play out the planet, whatever planet falls here, in a Capricorn way backed by Aquarius energy. So it's still the same thing. And then vice versa. If you're 1 or 2 degrees Aquarius, you're going to play things out, whatever planet falls here is going to play out in an Aquarius way backed with Capricorn energy. You see what I'm saying? So all planets feel the effects of cusp. All planets feel the effect of cusp, and it can only be a 5-degree orb. Now what happens here is when you are carrying a cusp, now it highly depends on how it gets carried out due to what actual planet falls here. So if you have the sun here, it's going to play out through your actions and the way you act, and things that you see yourself doing. Remind you, the sun isn't you. It isn't your personality. It's how you see yourself. So whatever sign your sun is in, that's how you see yourself. So when you don't see yourself actually accomplishing what that sign represents, that's when you may feel you didn't act in a certain way, or you may get a regret, or you may feel because you're not, or if you show an action that don't represent that sign that your actions is in, which is your sun sign, it's going to make you feel vulnerable, because you feel like you didn't represent yourself in the way that you truly see yourself. So that's the sun. The sun is how you see yourself. It's your ego. It's your pride. It's how you see things, and it's just how you see the world. Now, the moon is going to deal with your reactions, how you react. So it's how you feel comfortable, how you feel about things, your emotional stability, who you actually are. You know what I'm saying? Before people get to know you, it's what you keep on the inside. It's what you choose to express. It's how you feel on the inside. So the cusp going to play out in the moon in that way. You know what I'm saying? Now, the ascendant is going to play out through your personality, how you personally are, your personal aura. When people describe you, when they're not describing the way you act or how you react to things and your ways, they're describing you, your personality. Overall, this person is a cool person, or overall, this person is, I don't like this person. They're basically describing your personality. But if they get into traits of things, that how you do things and how you react to certain things, that's when they start to dive into your sun and moon. And not a lot of times, you don't know a person's sun and moon. The first thing you pick up or you get attracted to is a person's ascendant. And it's not until you start to be around this person, you start to understand, you start to see their sun and their moons. Now, when we get into Mercury, Mercury is thinking and analyzing and how you communicate. So that's how the cup's going to play out when Mercury falls here. This is the way you think, how you think about things, how you arrange things in your head, how you look at details, how you specifically understand things, how you communicate it, how you analyze it. That's the Mercury. Now, Venus. Venus is how you love, appreciate, how you value, and how you relate to things. So wherever Venus at, now Venus in the cusp, that's how it's going to play out. It's going to play out in a cusp way. The way you love. So say for an example, you have 0 or 20 or 29 or 28 degrees Taurus, or 28 or 29 degrees freaking Libra, or 1 or 2 degrees Scorpio. Now say you have Venus here, right? Now this is a good one, because Venus rules Libra, but it's at work in Scorpio. So here's what happens when you have Venus either 0 degrees, either 0 degrees, oh yeah, go ahead. Either 0 degrees, say you got, all right, either 0 degrees Scorpio, or 29, 28 degrees Libra, or 1 or 2 degrees Scorpio. Here's what happens when you have Venus here. Now, Venus is how you love, how you appreciate, how you value, how you relate to others. Now, it's going to have a sense of aspect of home, but it's going to have a sense of aspect of having to work. So think of a person, look at Venus. Now, think of a person having to work all the time and at home. Like, at home never is as comfortable as it can be. So it's like, yeah, I'm at home, but it's a lot of shit I always got to do in the home. You know what I'm saying? So that's how Venus is going to play out. So you're going to love, appreciate, and value and relate to others due to forms of communication and due to forms of and how you relate to people. People are going to pick up like you're a compromising a compromising person, a harmonious type of person, a person who know how to communicate thoughts well and like pleasantness, but it's going to be added with an emphasis of you. A lot of times you feel like you have to work to do that. You have to work towards that. You have to work on your relationships. You have to work on harmonious situations. A lot of times it may bring in situations in your life where things is always in turmoil and you always have to play the team maker. You always have to play the foundation of the relationships that's going on between you and whoever you're around. You have to play the peacemaker. You have to a lot of times it's like you have to work for this relationship. You have to work for your pleasures. You have to work. It's like, you know what I'm saying? So it'll play out like that, because Venus and Scorpio can become self-pleasure, self-value. You know what I'm saying? Just the same way how it's at work when it's in Aries. Venus and Aries could become self-attained, self-visualized. So, you know what I'm saying? It could be, Venus isn't about the self. You know what I'm saying? Venus is the girl that's in high school. You know what I'm saying? It's the son's daughter in high school. You know what I'm saying? And her little sister is Earth, Gaia, which you're on right now. So a lot of things a lot of people, if you even born on Earth as a human, you kind of misunderstood about the love concept. That's why you have certain Palladians here try to teach it in certain ways. But people on Earth have the wrong concept of love. So they throw their love into things externally, and instead of having it being played out internally first. You know what I'm saying? They think they have to receive it externally in some type of way in order to give it off. That's just like a person saying, well, shit, don't nobody love me, that's why I don't show no love. You know what I'm saying? Things of that, that's where things like that come from, and those brain waves and frequencies and vibrations come from. So, you know, when we want to talk about love in general, and the energy of it is actually from beings and the essence of spiritual beings and the actual macabre and the orbs that's going on within Venus. And when it gets played out through the little sister, you're here experiencing realms of reality within the little sister. The little sister that's in elementary, running around with the little brother. That's Mercury. Mars is in college, and you know, and Venus is getting ready to go there. with her older brother, but she's still in high school, so she's still going and sneaking in parties and shit like that, having late night conversations all night, and like wanting sex now, wanting to receive pleasures, and wanting to relate to people, having all night conversations and having friends. See, Earth is the little sister. She's still playing with Barbie dolls and little. So we think we love the things that we can do, we can play with, just like little kids here. We think love is external here. So, and Earth is part of material and growth and stability. So Earth is an energy here that's able for you to materialize things and manifest things. So, you know, when we start to talk about energies itself, I have no choice but to talk about Earth as a little girl, Gaia, Torah. I have no choice but to talk about Venus as being the older sister. I have no choice but to talk about Mars as being the older brother. Mercury is the little brother. He's the youngest. He's the closest to the sun. So he might not have to carry out the duties and the obligations of the sun. He might not have to take out the trash and do the chores like Mars. Mars carry out the duties and obligations of the sun. If the sun gonna be the father and Mars carrying out it's important to know where your Mars is at, because the sun is the way you act, is your actions, and Mars is how you intend to do it, how you actually do it, how your intentions do it. For an example, my sun is in Aries, 17 degrees Aries. Second node is Draco constellation. Now, as far as my actions, I act like I initiate and create new ways of how to see things and how to feel about things. Now, my Mars is in 29 degrees Capricorn, so it's a cusp, so it's a dust cusp. So not only it's two thinkers, a cusp can't be the opposite. It can, but when we talk about it as far as the earth air, that's two thinkers, you know what I'm saying? Now, they think in two different ways. Earth thinking in a practical way, air think and like to communicate what they think, and abstractly, past, present, and future, you know what I'm saying? Fire is future, water is past, earth is present. That's the frequency, vibrations, and the energy. Then you have air. Air is here and there. It's past, present, and future. So right here, now my Mars is how I actually carry out my actions. My actions is initiating, because I'm cardinal fire, Aries, so it's initiate and create new ways of how to see and how to feel about things. So that's my actions. That's the way I act. So this is why they say Aries may be aggressive or may not. Because look, when you're too busy trying to create and initiate a new way of seeing something and a new way of feeling about something, then you really, anytime someone else have a way of seeing something and a way of feeling about something, it gives a cardinal fire the energy of opposition. Because I'm busy trying to create a new, and you're trying to give me a perception that's already here. See, that's the way it's looking at it. So it's not aggressive. It's not the fact that, oh, they're into sports. You can hate sports and be a fire sign or Aries. That's not the thing about it. It's just you got to call it for what it is. Just like the other cardinal signs, Capricorn. This is where my Mars is 29 degrees Capricorn, so it's going to play out in this way. So it initiate and create new ways of how to think and practicality. So when other people are in the room try to give out their thoughts or give out their common sense, that's going to make a Capricorn feel like, hold on. I got the real common sense. I got the real practicality. Let's really think about it from point A to point B. So you know what I'm saying? Then that's how they feel opposed. Now, I have an extra emphasis with my Mars, so I have Aquarius actually there. So my intentions and how I intend to do things is initiating and creating new ways of how to think about the most practical way to do it, and the most practical way of how to carry out how I see and how I feel about it. But now it's added with an extra Aquarius emphasis. So now it's added with the energy of communicating in a fixed way. So I got a fixed way of how I think and communicate about the things I intend to do. You know what I'm saying? So I may come across stubborn, but I'm actually analyzing. So you know what I'm saying? My way of communicating things that I intend to do is not for the sake of opposition, it's for the sake of analyzing, for I can use it for a practical use. And that's how I intend to do it in some type of business, to build some type of foundation behind it. You know what I'm saying? What time is it? To build some type of foundation behind it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do. So check it out. My sun, I'm about to break it down for y'all to break down y'all chart real quick. First thing first, sun. My sun is in Aries. It's cardinal fire. It initiate and create new ways of how to think and feel. Okay, now you need to know where your ascendant at. My ascendant is in Leo, so my first house is Leo. So that's going to make my sun in the 9th house. My 9th house is Aries. So your first house is your personality. So my personality is fixed fire, being fixated on my own way of how to see things and how to feel about things. So now I got my own personality. That's what actually Leo is. It's an expression. It's a personality. Now I have to. Now since the sun rules here, and you have to look at the sun just in general where it's at, because the sun shows you where you're supposed to see at, and then the first house, if it's the first house lord, to show you where your personality is supposed to be at. So my sun is in the 9th house, so I'm here to be enlightened. I'm here to see things, learn the broad perspective. I'm here for understanding and overstanding, and gain wisdom and experience. Learn from my experiences. Now, since Leo is my first house, the sun ruled Leo, so the first house ruler is also in the 9th house. So I'm supposed to make this my personality. I'm supposed to make this a part of my personal issues. So a lot of personal issues I go through in my life, I'm supposed to attain some type of spirituality to it, some type of philosophical outview to it, some type of wisdom to it, some type of knowledge to it. Now how I'm going to carry it out, right, is Mars. So since my Mars is in 29 degrees Capricorn, it's a cusp. So it's going to play out in a Capricorn way. So how I intend to do it, and my intentions and my desires, overall desires about it, is initiating and creating new ways of how to think and practicalize it. So build a foundation. How can I build a structure? That's why I got so many videos, so many songs, so many shit. So if I ever stop, I got shit to fall back on. Or when I blow up, people can't say he just blew up yesterday, because they could be like, damn, he got all this shit that we just ain't know about. So that's like an AKA a foundation. That was my intentions, things how I tend to do. My videos are structured. I got playlists. It's organized. I got album covers to shit. My videos is basically a foundation for things I'm trying to talk about. So that's why I got a YouTube page. That was the practical thing to do to build a foundation for what I see and for what I feel. And if I see and I feel is in the 9th house, which is my sun and first house ruler, if it's to be spiritual, to be enlightened, okay, then boom, that's how I'm intended to do it. Now the added Aquarius emphasis is going to make me now communicative and thinking. So now I'm taking the platform of my stability in Mars, and now I'm thinking and analyzing and communicating it. So boom, I got a camera. I'm communicating it to y'all, and I'm giving y'all thinking shit to think about. See, that's the dust cusp between Capricorn and Aquarius, and y'all seeing that through my intentions. So that is playing out through my intentions. I'm building a foundation, the Capricorn part, for me to communicate something and analyze something, the Aquarius part. Now, how I'm going to do that, how I'm going to make it work, let's see where Mars is at in the houses. My Mars is in the 6th house. So, it's in the work house. You know what I'm saying? It's in the work house. So, it's in a routine. With things that you do on a day-to-day basis. Things that you create, that's a routine. So, that's telling me I need to take where my sun at, like I was just saying, how I tend to do it with Mars at, where I was just saying, now that I'm putting it in the 6th house, how I succeed in doing that is making it a routine, making it something I do on a day-to-day basis. So long as that I do this as a routine, long as that y'all know that this is a routine from me, this ain't something like he had videos up every now and then, I won't get no success like that. Y'all gotta see me do it as a routine, something I do every day, something I put it on a day-to-day basis. That's how I attain attention. So when I slack on that, I'm slacking on my Mars. I'm slacking on my Mars placement and slacking on my Sun placement. See, it all connects. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the more. So to know what kind of obstacles I may run into when I'm trying to succeed, then I see what planets is square in the 6th house. What planets may be square. What planets may be squaring the my Mars in the 6th house. Now, how I'm going to feel about it. Now, my moon is at 8 degrees Sagittarius. So right here, this is the 8 degrees is a fixed star element. So right here, this is the fixed star Antares, and it represents the constellation Scorpio and the energy of the Archangel Uriel. Now, this is how I feel. So I feel like I'm an angel. This is my emotions. How I react to things is in an angelic way. How the world I live in, who I am, is in another realm, a spiritual realm, and it's blurred too between Sagittarius and Scorpio. So what happens here is how I'm gonna feel about what I'm actually doing, I need to know where the moon is at. So my moon is there. I feel angelic when I do it. I feel spiritually enlightened when I do it. I feel like I'm the deepest when I do it. I feel like I'm the most broad perspective when I do it. The most enlightened when I do it. The most taboo when I do it. The most mystical when I do it. Boom, that's how I feel. Boom, that's my emotions. Now, to know what area of life is going to be played out in, I need to know what house it's in. It's in the 4th house. My 4th house is Scorpio. So 4th house represents domestic issues, domestic values, how you emotionally conduct and how you emotionally gain and construct stability amongst your emotions, amongst the private and privacy matters, or wherever you feel most comfortable at. If you feel most comfortable at a friend, family house, or whatever, that you can release yourself, then that is going to fall into the 4th house and become a domestic issue. Then open the door for me, please. And it's going to represent it represents domestic issues. So right here, I turn into this the most when I'm in the home or dealing with domestic issues, close things that hit close to home, things that hit close to inside, or having to deal with things. That's why I got custody of my daughter. That's why I know how to cook real good. That's why my energy may make others may feel home. That's why it is a home environment. This is the flight cave. I have an actual flight cave where I come down here. I got shit on the wall, metaphysics shit. I do 360s in, kick spiritual knowledge. I got a portal over here on the side. All the mysticism and all that shit comes out within the home. So my home is the mystic place. So wherever I live at, always going to have an aura around it. Always going to have a presence around it. Always going to have energetic forces and fields going on within it. Just because of, look, you see, look at my walls and shit. Area code 330, but it means so much more. You know what I'm saying? All kind of shit. So that's how I carry myself, because that's where my emotions and feelings is in a home, and keep it in a flight case. So that's how I'm going to feel about the thing. And so if I feel uncomfortable about any type of thing that's going on outside, I don't let it in. I get concealed in, because the 4th house is originally the Cancer house anyway. So you know what I'm saying? It's the crab. So you know what I'm saying? It's going to shield away. So not only do I shield away my emotions and feelings, but since it's Antares here, I shield away spirits. All kind, I mean, the world I'm in is all kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm shielding. You know what I'm saying? My house don't even look like a house. It look like it ain't square and shapy or none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, that's how you can kind of break down your chart, so you can know what you're doing and how you're doing it, and when you're doing and how you're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Just like my Venus is trying to my Mars, because my Venus is 2 degrees Gemini. So it's cusping Taurus and Gemini. So this is how I love, what I appreciate, what I value, and how I relate to others. So if it's playing out in the Gemini way, that means I love conversating, communicating. I appreciate and value communicating, and value others' appreciation, and see I love and appreciate all different varieties of communication. So it's not like it's Libra. I'm not trying to force a communication onto you so it can be one-on-one. It's not like Aquarius. I don't have a fixed way of communicating with you, and I got my own outlook. It's a mutable way. I'm appreciating your way of communicating, even though if it's not intellectually on my level, or even if I'm not intellectually on your level, is all for the sake of intellectually conversating. Now on the Taurus side, now Venus loves to be here already, so I'm able to communicate well about things I like to do, things I like to pleasure, things that I feel make sense, things that I feel, because that's fixed Earth, being fixated on its own way of thinking and the practicality. So I appreciate and value and like to think about things and make it make sense, and how I could think about it first, you know what I'm saying, then communicate it, even if I'm communicating and I'm all wrong about it, for the sake of